The main issue we were discussing was the problem of assimilation in Europe, where we saw that in most European countries the average is 85% of assimilation. It's a huge problem, and we clearly see that this is the main challenge of European Jewish communities today.
So what kind of solutions are we talking about? It's mainly education.
There's no one solution. There's many solutions. We have actually one of the reasons why we're discussing here so many rabbis is to try to identify what are the source of the problems. So we're talking about this that people do not feel secured to be as Jews. So we know that we have to do something about their security. Of course, there's a problem of education, where over 75% of Jewish children do not get any Jewish education. So we know we have to do more with education for children, with adult education, activities for children, and so on, and for students.
Now, one of the issues that in Israel has become a big controversy is the issue of conversion.
Look, when talking about conversion, it's already a further step, because this means that someone actually wants to marry with a Jew. So we're not there yet. We're first of all to see about all these 85% who even don't think about conversion, but you just have no problem to marry with a non-Jew.
Now, in terms of anti-Semitism, what could you tell us what have you been discussing here?
So we tried not to discuss about anti-Semitism today, because we truly believe that the problem of assimilation is the biggest and the main challenge. However, the reason we do speak about the Holocaust is because at the end of the day, we can say that the Holocaust is one of the main problems. I would say that the problem of assimilation today is one of the consequences of the Holocaust, when people do not feel proud to be Jew, but not only that, but they're also scared to be identified as a Jews.
Where does the land of Israel come into this whole, this formula of how we fight assimilation?
Of course, we all hope that at the end of the day, everybody will make aliyah to be v'tachazena eineinu b'shuvcha l'tzion berachamim. But till then, we have to do everything possible with those who live in Europe.
But do you feel that it's a right to use a visit to the land of Israel to connect people to their sources?
Absolutely, we do it on a yearly basis. Actually, we bring groups of students, of children, of rabbis, and adults from all over Europe, because we saw that when we brought people to Israel, even for 1 week, it made a huge impact on them.
A few words about the crisis with the circumcision and the Jewish religious shechita, the slaughtering of the meat. Where are we holding in terms of that whole crisis?
So actually, as of today, there's two countries that I would say that there is an official ban on ritual slaughter, which is Poland and Denmark. In Denmark, there's no real consequences for the daily basis, because anyway, there's no shechita, there's no kosher slaughtering in Denmark already for the past 10 years. However, it's a huge impact on Jews. The fact that we see today again Europe that decided to ban ritual slaughter or circumcision, this is a huge effect that actually shows again that we still have a problem to be with a full freedom of religion.
Now, is this coming from anti-Semitism, or is this maybe, New Age, the green trend?
It's impossible to say that it comes only from animal welfare, because there's so many proofs that I can tell you how it's impossible to come only from that. And we see clearly that in many times these anti-Semite ideas behind these campaigns.
Okay, so what's next? You're continuing, of course, with your day-to-day work of the organization.
Well, till Mashiach will come, we have a lot of work to do. First of all, with, again, more education, to fight for Jewish rights, to fight for full freedom of religion, and do more education, rabbis, training. We have a lot of work to do.
What's the role of a rabbi, really? Once it was just to answer questions, today it's much more.
Well, today I would say that in most countries in Europe, these are rabbis in charge of could be 10 or 20, even 50,000 Jews. Since a Jewish child was born till 120 years, and everything in the middle. You have education, you have marriages, you have divorces, you have school, you have mikveh, you have tons of things that it's impossible for one rabbi to deal with all of that unless he gets a lot of training, unless he gets a lot of support. And that's what we do. We are very proud to do so.
Rabbis or you hope that they will all be leaders?
The rabbis are the leaders. They are the spiritual leaders, and they have the responsibility on the communities.